What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today I want to speak on the topic of the spiritual root to hoarding. The bottom line up front is that hoarding is attached to trauma. It's attached to such traumas as abandonment, fear, loss, not having enough. Things such as not having enough food, not having enough clothing, not having a place to stay. Things like things being taken away from you as a child as a form of punishment and never returned. People leaving out of one's life for no apparent reason, or a husband leaving a wife for another woman, or a spouse passing away and they didn't get the chance to say goodbye. Hoarding is linked to deep-rooted trauma. And it's an addiction like any other addiction. Some of the things that people can hoard are things that seem irrelevant to others. Like, that's trash. Why are you holding on to that? But a lot of times these people have identified with trash. They have felt like trash. They have been treated like trash. They have been tossed away like trash. And so these people subconsciously identify with trash. People who hoard, they hoard because things being around them and piles of things and pockets of things being around them feels like people being around them. But the difference between hoarding things and hoarding trash is that trash cannot get up and walk away. And people can. And for hoarders, they have over and over and over again. And this is their way of coping with not having things walk away from them, leaving them alone in isolation, leaving them when they need them most, discarding them after they're done with them. That's what we do with trash. After I'm done with drinking a bottle of water, or after I'm done eating something on a paper plate, I take it, I ball it up, and I throw it in the trash. I'm done with it. I don't need it anymore. These people have felt like this. Another way of hoarding is that people will hoard animals. And these animals are more or less captive to these people, because the animals only come and go when that person says they can come and go. People who hoard things, those things don't have the capacity to get up and walk out of the door. People do. Things cannot hurt us, but people can and have. And so we hold on to things. So when people have like piles of stuff there, these piles of things and stuff bring them comfort in some way, because someone who doesn't have disorder might look at it and say, why do you have that pile of crap right there? Why are you keeping that? But that pile is also really akin to like, if I go in there and start taking away that pile and you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this, it's the same concept if someone comes to your family or to your family and starts taking away your children and say, this one can go over there, this one can go over there, that one can go over there. And then you're like, my children are all spread out all over the place. In the hoarder's brain, in the hoarder's mind, in their heart, in their spirit, when you take away that pile of stuff that to you seems worthless, it's like taking away their security. It's like taking away the one thing that accepts them as they are. According to the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic Statistical Mental Health Manual, hoarding is a form of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, where someone becomes obsessed with things and they don't know how to release these things. They can't release them because these things bring them security. It protects them from the outside world. They can't trust people. And so they rely on trusting things. The more things they have, the more secure, the more safe they feel. It's really a sad disorder when you think about it. That there is no trust there. I can't rely on you, but I can rely on this. This won't leave me. A deeper form of thinking about this that can really bring things to the forefront of your mind to see how serious that this disorder is. This is an addiction. It's not something that you can go to the hoarder's home and clean it up spotless. What that does for the hoarder is it re-traumatizes them over and over and over again. They become anxious. They become uneasy. They'll kick you out of their home. You're there trying to clean up, and in your mind, you're helping. You're getting rid of the roaches. You're getting rid of the rats. You're getting rid of the trash. You're helping this person. But in reality, you're causing panic and fear and anxiety, resentment and hatred. Because what you're really doing is you're re-traumatizing this person. And you're not doing it on purpose, but that's what's really happening. So this can be a cause from things being taken away from a person when they were a child, never returned. It can be someone dying and they didn't get the chance. They were so in love with this person. They didn't get the chance to say goodbye, or they just don't know how to let go. So they may be hoarding that person's belongings, trying to hold on to the person. Whew. It's unhealed grief. It's unhealed trauma. It's unhealed fear. It's the inability to trust another human being, because human beings undoubtedly let you down. And hoarders have been let down over and over and over and over again. Now, if you want to know how deep this concept can go, it's the same concept of a serial killer that hoards dead bodies, because a dead body can't move. It can't leave them. That's how deep this mental disorder can go. Now, granted, no, everybody's not there, and thank God for that. But it's the same concept with trash. Things that everyone else deems as unusable, useless. This person holds on to these things as a mirror of themselves, a mirror of their own trauma. It's important that we have compassion for people who are suffering from this disorder. Because in saying, oh my God, you're nasty, I can't believe you're doing that, look at what you're doing to yourself, look at what you're doing to the house, blah, 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 blah. All you're doing is re-traumatizing and exaggerating the disorder, causing it to be worse. You can't go in and clean somebody's house and take away all of their belongings, all the stuff that you deem as trash, and then think that it's going to heal them. That no more than you can take a pack of cigarettes away from someone who smokes 3 packs a day and thinks it's going to heal them. Or no more than you can take fentanyl or a needle or a pipe or anything else from a person, and I'm going to take this from you and expect them to be automatically healed. It's not going to happen. It's going to make it worse. They're going to go find more drugs. The hoarder is going to go find more trash, more piles of things. When they have these piles of things around them, like say, for example, they put forth effort to try to clean up, to try to make whoever's nagging them happy. And so they start going through the piles and they're like, oh, I forgot I had this. I can use this for later. Oh, I forgot I had this. I can use this for later. And they create another pile of the same stuff. So this is a issue that has to be healed from the root. And people have to have patience with this illness, because this is not something that just goes away overnight. This is something that has been with this person since childhood. Not that this is a quick fix, but I do want to provide some of the ways that one can assist themselves with hoarding. Honoring the wound, the soul wound that's beneath the hoarding, the inner child, the shadow work, the inner child, reassuring that the inner child is safe now. Trusting that the earth, that the universe will hold them. Trusting that there is enough in this world. We can go through all the root chakra, the heart chakra balancing, healing the fear and the anxiety and the animosity and the anger and all the things that we have, the loss. We can go through all of that. We can go through the feng shui of how feng shui in your house releases the chi and lets the energy flow, how unblocking the chakras lets the energy flow. But let's face it, this is a wound that's difficult to heal. Getting a person to unsee themselves as trash after being told their entire lives that they were trash. I could even suggest ayahuasca. But let's face this, that sometimes ayahuasca exaggerates things. It makes it bigger. This is a spiritual illness that runs very, very deep in a person. And they have to take it one day at a time. And if you have a loved one that has this disorder, you have to take it one day at a time. Now, they do have support groups. They have support groups such as Hoarding Anonymous. And they also have support groups called Cluttering Anonymous, because they're kind of moving away from the term hoarding because of all the negativity that's attached to the term. So they have support groups called Clutter Anonymous, where these people can get in groups with other people who are going through the same thing, where the one thing that these people need are other human beings who overstand them. And that would be my suggestion on how to heal this spiritual sickness or illness or whatever you want to refer to it as. Is to have people around them who overstand them, that get where they're coming from, because 90% of the world doesn't get it. We're like, why would you hold on to this? Why would you do this? This is nasty. This is blah, 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 causing more and more and more and more trauma. And so getting these people into support groups. And then once they're into a support group, then doing all those things like balancing the root chakra to help one realize that they are safe, that they are supported, and that the universe and the earth will ultimately hold them. Then start going into the chakra meditations of clearing the heart of grief, fear, abandonment, of not feeling safe. Once these people get into groups where they're around other people who actually get them, who actually understand the fact that everything around them is a mirror of who they feel that they are. And if that's trash, if they feel like they're nothing more than trash, then their home is just a reflection of who they believe that they are to be. Maybe some things that can be done is that they can, do the chakra balancing, work with energy, learn about feng shui and how things block energetic flow. Teaching one to create a sacred space, and that a sacred space is a safe space. And also teaching one to be a humanitarian, to possibly the things that they're holding on to, realize that there are people in the world that need what they have. taking some of the food that they're hoarding because they didn't have food as a child and taking it down to the food shelter. Even if it's just one bag or a couple of cans or something like that, just slowly releasing, getting into the habit of releasing those things that no longer serve them, that they don't really need. Having a mirror in one's home, and written on that mirror is, I am not trash. I am worthy. I am safe. There is enough. I am enough. And seeing that daily and saying those affirmations. Realizing that there are people that don't have clothing, and if you have a closet full of clothing, taking that clothing out. If you didn't wear it last year, put it in a bag. Let it sit there for a while. Oh, I didn't wear this last year. Put it in that bag. And then when you're ready, take that bag to the thrift store and release it. This is a process that requires a patience, and it's going to take a long time for these people to unwire the trauma that has been inflicted upon them. But the root of it is not being able to trust people, not being secure in in their homes, in their property, in their bodies. People leaving them whenever they want to, people abusing them whenever they want to, people using them whenever they want to. And then when they're done, they just throw them away. So now this person knows what it feels like to be trash. So getting these people around a group, even starting your own support group, getting these people around a group that the people in the circle know where they're coming from. They identify with them. So that these people know that they are not alone is the first step. And then we can go into all the spiritual rah-rah of balancing the chakras and clearing the chi and sitting with ayahuasca and releasing things and being a humanitarian. We can go through all of that. But the first key is to getting these people in a support group. And if you're one of these people that are watching right now, that maybe you can be the one to start the support group. For that matter, maybe I can be the one to start the support group. At the end of the day, we all have some level, some form of hoarding. Even if it's just a small level. Sometimes when I like a shirt, I'll buy it in every color. That equates to hoarding. Do I need it in every color? No. If I like these glasses, I'll buy them in every color. I like this head wrap, I'll buy them in every color. So we all have some level of hoarding that we can relate to the compulsive hoarder. I have so many books. I've probably read 10 of those books. Let me lean to the right. All of those are on some type of spiritual knowledge. Now, granted, I've come back. South Node in the 9th house. I've come back with all types of spiritual knowledge, and I want to share it with the world. But I have to be careful that I don't hoard spiritual things in this lifetime, and that I take that knowledge and I release it like I'm doing here on the YouTube channel. Yes, this is my therapy. So today I want to come on and maybe show a little compassion to those who have this disorder, and so that you have a better understanding of what this order stems from, that it doesn't stem from someone being nasty, that it doesn't stem from someone being, dirty and unhealthy. It stems from a root trauma within the spirit, and possibly generational traumas from generation to generations, because at the end of the day, hoarding is hereditary. So it's a spiritual thing, generation. And for one to be able to break the generational curse of hoarding, one needs a support system. So if you don't have a group, create a group so that people can be around people who get them, who understand what their traumas are. I hope that this has been helpful for you today. Thank you for tuning in to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. If you like my vibe, you like my vibe, you like my energy, please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you know when I upload. Yeah? We'll see you next time. Y'all have a good day.